Ferrari be, and the BMW and the Alpine.
Minute and 13 seconds on pit lane for the number 7 Toyota. Kamui Kobayashi rejoins. Dries van Tor, 2 seconds longer, joins just behind the number 7 Toyota.
And look on the left-hand side of your screen. What has happened to the number 8, number 50 battle? It's no longer for 9th. It is currently for 5th, and more cars stopping ahead of them. Suddenly that all becomes very, very relevant. That offset fueling might end up coming back to reward one or both of those cars. Leader is in.
Leader is in. Robert Kubica leads the motor race at the moment. Will always a pit stop shortly, but the 83 car is on pit lane.
Oh, right, OK, so no, he's not. 51 is, so 83 hasn't come in yet, and that means for the first time 83's leading?
83 had 2% more energy than 51, because I think following the Porsche, naturally saving a bit more fuel.
Not the fastest of getaways from the standstill there on the 51 car.
Here we go. This is Fuoco's best chance yet on Sebastien Buemi. Where are you going to send it? To the outside, probably has been the driver's favourable place.
And where does 50 come out in front of this? Fuoco's going the long way round the outside, but there's a McLaren in the way.
Yeah, that scuppered his plans, didn't it, there, that time around. So Buemi used that GT car wisely to his advantage, but this is really losing Fuoco time, that virtual race that he's in against the other cars behind the Penske Porsche.
Fantastic start from Sebastien Buemi. Antonio Fuoco still clambering all over the back of this Toyota. What tyres has the Toyota got on? It's got mediums all round, yes?
Yeah, in the last stop, it didn't take any tyres at all. So it's got old mediums on the right and old softs on the left.
OK.
Here comes 83 from the lead of the race. Yep. Just that one lap, Kubica brings the car down pit lane. Number 8 and number 50 now, 2nd and 3rd. And this is the second place battle. Closer than ever.
Well, actually, it's 83 stops. Unless he gets out in front of them at the end of the lap. This is going to be possibly for the lead. Sebastien Buemi and Antonio Fuoco. Buemi in the number 8 Toyota, the Scarlet Ferrari right behind. They dive down through the inside, past the Corvette LMGT3 car. And again, it's not just what you've got, it's how well you operate it, and that's what Toyota is so good at.
Leader's gone.
Yeah.
The 8 and the
number 8 Toyota leads the race. Toyota in front for the very first time, 1 hour and 3 minutes to go. Anthony Davidson, they are never down and out.
No, absolutely. In an endurance race, never. You never know what's around the corner. And this race, this is an interesting battle. Many people thinking, why are we looking at a fight with these two cars? They're completely out of position, way behind the trainer cars we were focusing on earlier on. But what they've been doing here in clear air is important and will potentially put them up when it all shakes out at the end. Put them into that middle of that pack somewhere that they were once in.
And worth pointing out, there could be a safety car in the next 60 seconds, and they're the race leaders. And if we go virtual safety car and they get a chance to fuel...
Well, and if it rain, imagine if it starts to rain right now or in a couple of laps, they don't need to come in just yet. And then they go straight onto the wet tyre. You've saved yourself a minute in the pits.
Again, it's how you operate the car, and both these teams are exceptional at doing that now. Ferrari may possibly have slightly miscued with the soft tyre call, but again, only hindsight is going to tell us whether they were right or wrong.
It would have hurt them more, definitely, for car 51 if it was the Toyota behind them of Kobayashi instead of Kevin Estre.
Now, what seems to have happened is that the 51 Ferrari of Alessandro Pierguidi has come out 3 seconds behind Sheldon van der Linde in the number 20 BMW.
Well, that's because Sheldon van der Linde did not take tyres, and I'm pretty certain that Alessandro Pierguidi did. So the difference in the pit stops last time around was 21 seconds to the advantage of the BMW. 1 minute and 2 seconds on pit lane for the 20 BMW that sits third. 1 minute and 23, but retaining their tyre advantage for the 51 Ferrari. But that tyre advantage only really comes into play if this race stays dry.
I think, was it Robin Fine said, a hard reset? We might be having another one of those if it's wet. But look at Fuoco now. Just, this is desperate stuff, isn't it? It's the speed that car's had all day. And I thought they might have been the race to be watching today before the start of it, starting in P18. But it's been fantastic to watch in many ways. It could have been out in front, just blasting up into the distance.
We are on energy compared to him, and we can undercut him or not.
Yeah, we are trying to get you there, mate. It should be in 8 laps at the moment. 8 laps. We're going to pit or the lap before him or the same lap.
Yeah, so what he's looking for there, and unfortunately he pitted quite a few laps before Buemi. So Buemi, last time I saw the energy graphic at least, Buemi's got quite a bit more fuel on board, but here we go again. Just slowly catching on that Toyota. And there's another GT car in the way, and Buemi's going to go to the inside of that.
Which not.
No, but he thought about it and had it covered anyway. So, yeah, Fuoco, I'm surprised he didn't sound unimpressed. He didn't sound more frustrated on the radio. It was still quite calm for the action that we're seeing unfolding here.
He is sanguine, isn't he? Desperate to try and get by the Toyota any way he can. Can we undercut? No, probably not. Right, okay. Well, but that at least means it's clear. Okay, I have to do it on track.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to. I can't just sit here and save another litre of fuel. And confirmation, 51 Ferrari took tyres, new softs on the right-hand side. They didn't go medium.
I am with Brendan Hartley, driver of the Toyota number 8. What a race Seb is doing, and all you guys. You were not there at the beginning, but as usual, you're always there on strategy.
Yeah, look, we were fighting pretty well at the beginning in P4. We took a penalty on our car with a full course yellow infringement. Not really sure what happened. I'm pretty sure that it was safe, so we have to review after. Now we've gone off strategy, quite heavily off strategy. It's hard to see how it's going to play out. I feel like virtually we're maybe fighting for P4 and 5 now. We have one more stop, and so do the others, but the others just have a splash.
Except there's a safety car or something.
Yeah, we don't know, or maybe some rain. So look, we're still in the fight. The Ferrari has way more pace. They're managing at the front, and Fuoco's right behind. Seb's trying to keep him behind, but yeah, I'm just watching the TV now. It's a great fight. We're hoping we can still fight for a podium. Kamui's also fighting for the podium, so if we can score some good points again, it would be damage limitation on a weekend we don't have the full pace. But it's been a nice race, honestly, with many cars in the midfield battle, let's say.
Absolutely, and we're all watching the race and the fight at the moment. So good luck for the end.
Thank you.
I tell you what, Buemi, Brendan's right. This is an absolute masterclass in how to defend. He's just got enough straight line speed to keep Fuoco at bay. Fuoco can just about get a nose in there, but Buemi's got the inside covered every time into turn 2. Then he defended in towards the Villeneuve chicane, but gave a car's width on the outside when he moved back on to or close to the racing line. So he's being very fair, but he's just placing the car in all the right places and carrying the speed where he can as well. The problem is for these two, in Fuoco mounting this pressure, they're both losing time compared to the others that Brendan talked about.
But what Brendan was talking about there is it encapsulates what's been going on this race.
Graham, he's thinking about going to the inside, yeah, but look at Buemi again. He moves the inside and back to the racing line just to put Fuoco off the scent of I was thinking he was going to go to the inside. If I was Fuoco, that's what I would try and do.
Yeah, point we're going to make here really quickly because it's happening so quickly. We came into this race with a fair number of people telling us it was going to be a foregone conclusion for Ferrari.
Hurry up.
It's not, for all sorts of reasons, and that's what makes it brilliant.
Well done.
Just to pick up on Anthony's point about this battle slowing these cars down, they are lapping in 1 minute 35s, the slowest 2 cars in Hypercar in the top 10.
Okay, mate, they will have to triple the soft on the left and double the medium on the right, the Toyota, if they don't change at the next stop. there will be on the triple soft on the left and double medium on the right.
So let's have a look at, so basically, Fuoco does have the tyre advantage. Of course, they took the right side of medium's last pit stop.
But that means that Ferrari are committing him to a no tyre stop,
Absolutely.
fuel only, to jump ahead of Buemi. And don't forget, this is not a random battle of guys who are going to drop down to 12th. They are the leaders right now. Rain, safety car, somebody else's incident, all of that can play into their hands. These two could end up first and second. There's no good reason why they wouldn't.
What we've seen already in the first 5 hours of this race, and we'll watch this, who is coming right behind.
Here's his chance, Anthony. No.
I don't know how he's carrying so much extra speed before the right-hander, before the Ravazzas, but Buemi, I don't know whether he was just lifting coasting or what, to make sure that Fuoco's momentum came to a halt before the braking zone. If that's what he did, incredibly smart, but maybe it's the way they're using their energy as well, I don't know, but that was interesting before that corner. I haven't seen that before.
It looked like he had him dead to rights.
He did, but he couldn't do anything with the momentum because it's not an overtaking corner. And then Buemi kind of sped up. He basically killed his momentum before the braking zone.
It's going to be interesting when he does get a run in the right place there, which he's simply not had. There's always been traffic.
Yeah, the GT cars have really, they've fallen okay for Buemi, and he's really capitalised when there's been a slower car in front that shuts half the racetrack off for Antonio Fuoco, which means he only has to guard half the width of the track, and it's not a wide track in the first place.
Let's just remind people that there is still a battle underway in GT3. It is Ricardo Leitz leading for the Montai First Form Porsche squad, the 92 squad, from the 46 Team WRT, Kelvin de Linde pedalled car at the moment, and then the two Lexus behind that contesting the final podium position.
Let's see this again. Same part of the track. What happens? So not much of the difference in speed that time around, which makes me think it can't be. You know, it's nothing to do with their straight line speed naturally in the car. Maybe Buemi did. Maybe he did lift off a little bit there.
Well, it's again what we're seeing here. We heard it with the radio calls for both teams. Here's where I think he's got an advantage. If he's got a clean run down to this turn, and he does, can he get around that? He can't.
Not because Buemi had the inside covered. Fuoco wanted to look to the inside. Buemi just hugged the inside, took the shortest distance on the road towards the corner, and
but that's where the Ferraris had a massive performance advantage all day, but it doesn't seem to be there right now.
Fuoco's going to have to think again here. He's really, like, it has to be the element of surprise, because Buemi is a wise old fox here. He is placing that car in such a way that it's making, it's like when you see, again, the reference to Monaco and F1, if you do it right, it's impossible to be overtaken.
Buemi is putting in as good a drive now as he did in Bahrain at the end of last season in such a different way. Sebastien Buemi, the race leader in the black number 8 Toyota, right behind him, underneath him, along both sides of him, over the top of him, Antonio Fuoco. He's looked everywhere, and Buemi has kept the door closed. He's stuck his staff in the bridge. They shall not pass.
But here's the point. Buemi doing a fantastic world-class job here. Has been put in that position by brilliant work on pit lane and by brilliant strategy from Toyota, and we've seen that all the way down through this field, which is why we've had so many different cars and so many different manufacturers in the hunt.
Here we are thinking whether us would change or not 2 tires at the next stop. At the moment I would say no, so we have more chance to pass them at the last stop. Let me know how you feel with tires.
This is shaping up from Buemi to be somewhere close to what we saw at the end of Bahrain last season.
I tell you, any young driver watching this, if you want to be in the World Endurance Championship one day, driving these beautiful cars, and you want to maybe defend for your life one day, this is how you do it. Take all the notes you can from car number 8, Sebastien Buemi, right now. Is this an absolute lesson to everybody? He may well get overtaken. He probably will at some point. But so far, the job he's done right up to this point,
faultless.
Absolutely, I mean, beyond. It's so impressive.
It's not looked at risk almost because the car positioning has been pinpoint.
And we heard, didn't we, Antonio Fuoco asking the team, can we undercut? Well, the answer is no. Buemi's got twice the remaining energy of the Ferrari, so they're going to have to stop before the Toyota, but Toyota's stop, their final stop, will be slightly shorter. So Fuoco, after this stop, if not before, and he's probably only got one more lap after this one before he needs to stop for fuel, he's going to have to invent something, or they're going to have to catch traffic, and they're not catching traffic. They might do in this lap. There's a couple of big clumps of GT3 cars in front who are very close together because of all the safety car positioning. But again, Buemi is just doing everything. And Fuoco, if he had a performance advantage, certainly doesn't anymore.
Well, and we said, I think, what, half an hour ago, every lap he could keep this car behind him as an advantage. Did you dream we'd be looking half an hour onwards and we'd still be in this position? Because I certainly didn't.
No, I really didn't. And actually, remember what we said about Kevin Estre earlier on, how he looked at some points a little bit ragged, he made a few mistakes, it opened the door up for people to overtake him. Buemi has been absolute millimetre precise perfect, not flustered in any way at all. He's rolling it still, he's keeping it smooth, he's carrying momentum where he needs to, and it's impregnable, isn't it? There's no way, it's watertight.
And all credit, by the way, to Fuoco for keeping his head, actually, and not a lunge.
Traffic right in front of them. Here we go, up to the top chicane. They've gone by the 59 McLaren. There's another couple of GT cars. In fact, that's the 95 McLaren. 59 is in front. 77, the Ford Mustang, down the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, it's going to work.
But Fuoco's pitting this lap. This is his in lap.
I was going to say that's going to work in Buemi's favour where that car was at that point. But, OK, so Fuoco, it's 0%. He has to pit surely this lap. And he does, so Buemi maintains that track position.
Yeah. World class, just world class.
Absolutely.
Any form motorsport, anywhere.
You know what?
Class.
I go as far as that you could take many Formula One drivers currently on the grid today and get them to try and do what he just did, and they would fail.
Yep. Absolutely faultless.
Yeah. Possibly with the exception at Monaco, where there's even half the track width we've got here and no runoff, but exceptional stuff from Buemi. And he totally blunted any advantage that the Ferrari might have had. Tyres are ready. And are they going mediums or softs? Well, 48 minutes left. It's going to be softs. Are they going to do the tyre change?
The thing is, whatever Ferrari do here, Toyota can retaliate. They can just mimic